We live? Alright. Peace, shalom, islam, assalamu alaikum, hotep. Today, y'all, I want to talk to y'all about this sex trafficking shit. I'm going to keep it funky, y'all. I'm going to give y'all some details about stuff that's actually going on in our own damn communities that we don't have no clue about. Alright, so everybody know that Trump building a wall and he wants to so-called make Mexico pay for it, right? And y'all see the Republicans pissed off with him, mad, and everybody wonders, well, why are they mad? Ain't they all on the same, tight time? Yeah, they are. Except the only thing is Trump can't help being an asshole and do stuff his way. So him building a wall is putting a monkey wrench in the other Republicans' real intent. And that's to get rid of 95% of the population by 2030. The point of that is, like I said, y'all, the last lecture was the Georgia Guidestones. That's their blueprint for the future. That's why when you watch movies about the future, you don't see blacks, Latinos, Arabs, tan, black, red people, Native Americans. Alright, so y'all know that. The point is now that Trump is building a wall and costing the tax dollars to initially pay for it, which in the end he's going to excise it afterwards out of the Mexican government. That's if they're cooperative. So they can say, fuck you, Trump, and then next thing you know, we at war. Problem is, our military is so jacked up right now, so spread thin, we probably wouldn't even be able to muster that, type of, move right now. They'll probably initially send in the customs agents and all that to try to do their little shit, FEMA and all that, to soften them up for the military to come in. But so the other half of that issue is building a wall now keeping us locked in. So countries look at that and say, okay, well, you turn down my immigrants, then fuck it. Yeah, y'all America ain't getting no visa over here. Y'all can't come over here. Which that's gonna cause a problem. Because these motherfuckers, they all about, we've been getting resources from other nations for the last 60 years. For those who don't know. Another thing, Trump been heavily investing in the oil over there in Ukraine and Russia. He got offshore money coming in while he's playing president over here. Because he's not supposed to be, making that kind of dollar as a president of the United States. But on the side, under the table, he's definitely taking his money and getting that money out the oil, which Russia's been supplying Europe for the last 7 years with. For those who don't know, do your fucking research. I ain't gotta explain and show you no diagrams. Do your research. It's public knowledge. All you gotta do is get on the computer or pick up a book and read. We passed the era of the I believe stuff, the Piscean era. For those who don't know, 2012, they was talking about the end of the world. It wasn't the end of the world, motherfuckers. It was the end of the Piscean age, which means I believe. Now we're in the Aquarius age, which means I know. So for those who still looking for people to show you paperwork or shit that's going on, all you gotta do is look around your communities and y'all see everything that's going on. There ain't no lie about that. We know the police getting more militant. They done bought billions of ammunition. And you're wondering, well, who the hell are they planning on killing? Look at the mirror. They planning on killing you, motherfucker. Okay? So, stop asking stupid questions. That's the point, y'all. It's time to get educated. Pick up a book. Look on the internet. Do some research. Find out about SEPTA. Find out about, the Hilton. Find out about Margaret Sanger and Planned Parenthood. These motherfuckers was all racist against us. It was never intended for us to be on top of them. That's why in America, you never see a corporation where a white man and a black man are sharing equal power. Name one corporation where a black and a white man is the CEO and the CFO. And they sharing power and they powwow every goddamn day. You're not going to find it. You know what I'm saying? So, for those who don't know, alright, the sex trafficking is a big thing in the world today. The last lecture I talked about the milk box program, when they had all of these missing children who were picked up and taken. Now, here's the thing about that. There was this white guy who was in that milk box program, and he got kidnapped. And they took him to a place out in the Midwest somewhere, and the children that they had kidnapped him with, he explained how one of them died. They were experimenting on him, electroshock therapy, all of this. It was a program specifically, I forget the name of it, but it's on the internet. We were just talking about this shit too, Reed, Dan, me and Tim. So, yeah, this guy's name is Brian, and he gets kidnapped by the government, and he's given what you call a lobotomy, where they drill a hole in your head, take your memory away. So he lost his memory, and he was, as a child, trained to be a so-called soldier. So as he got older, he hit 21, they have no more use for you, so they send you back into society as a grown person. So these children, a lot of them we never find. Some of them die during the experimentation process, during the torture process, electroshock therapy, yada yada yada. A lot of them are grown older as grown people, and then they're set back out in society. So he's working at Starbucks, and his family, his brother specifically, comes into Starbucks to buy some coffee, looks him in the eye and say, "Brian, where the hell you been?" This motherfucker, being he done had a lobotomy, had a hole drilled in his skull, he done forgot all about his own goddamn family. All he knows is the shit he been told to do and taught. He been set back out in society with the illusion or the understanding that something is going to trigger this man to do something where they can come up with a new law. You see it all the time. For those who see motherfuckers in the military base spaz out, shoot a bunch of motherfuckers, that's called the MK Ultra. They showed on the damn movie Manchurian Candidate with Denzel Washington when they drilled a hole in the damn boy Liev Schreiber's head, put that little chip in it the size of a damn piece of rice. That's what you call the mark of the beast. For all y'all motherfucking Christians who don't know y'all shit, who always talking about, it's the devil and all that. The mark of the beast is a chip, and it's the controlling of the money. The number of the beast is the Social Security system, the blue card, y'all. Title 42, Section 666. So these kids were kidnapped, taken into custody. Those that were died were sent away to this group of people who are Zionist Jews or whatever, and they are responsible for grinding the body up at their meat labs. They got these big warehouse meat labs, 7 of them, all around the country, and then they sell the food material, the grind up meat, whatever it is, to Burger King, McDonald's, all this old other bullshit. So for y'all motherfuckers who've been eating McDonald's and Burger King, you probably been eating dead humans, you know what I'm saying? Just like the Italians used to do back in the day down South Philly, chop a motherfucker up into pieces, put him in the hamburger, alright? This ain't no old new practice, it's old, they've been doing this shit for years to get rid of motherfuckers. So, those that are put back in society are this is the intent. The intent is for something in society to set them off, to irritate them, so that they go berserker. And then they use these individuals' actions as an excuse to pass new laws so that they can now put in implementation, martial law. You know what I'm saying? Telling everybody, we season the water, we season the food, we season the transportation routes, we season all that shit. Suspend the Constitution, get rid of all that bullshit. So, now, these individuals, some of them, small percentages of them, tend to break the mold. And so this guy comes into Starbucks, sees his brother, and he comes back there every day to remind his brother that, yo, I'm your brother, I'm the boy starts to remember. His family comes, sisters, mothers, whatever. And next thing you know, the man starts to remember. He's remembering as a child all the shit he went through, yakety smackety up. And then he goes on to start telling the story about what happened to him. And he remembers he was out playing one day. He remember he got kidnapped. He said all he remembered is being taken to a facility blindfolded, and the kids that were with him, they were terrified. And they were all being led in like cattle to this one area. So they all had to go through the lobotomy process, drilling a hole in the pineal gland, which basically deters your vision. It is basically for a short period of time fucks with your memory. You know what I'm saying? But as your body heals, your pineal gland heals. Therefore, you start to gain your memory back. The fucking man gains his memory back, and he starts to go on and tell the whole story about how he remembered them taking the girls and then moving them to a separate area. The men were trained as soldiers. The girls were moved on and separated from them. So he then goes and contacts some militia out in the Midwest to help him and back him up and protect him because he felt like the government was coming to kill him. All of a sudden, you don't hear about this guy no more. But you hear about the information that he dropped as far as the sex trafficking. Now, all of these women, these girls are taken and they're grown and put into these, they're groomed and put into these brothels, and they're sold and pimped. But at the same time, the government knows what they're doing because they're using these groups to make money, profit, so that they can use that money to build their camps, so that they can hire staff to man the camps. I don't know if you've seen any of these FEMA camps, y'all. They got Constantine wire on both sides, steel pikes on the outside pointing outward to keep motherfuckers out, on the inside of the gate pointing inward to keep motherfuckers in. They got black bins enough to fit 4 bodies, and they have dogs. They got dogs, y'all, and they train these motherfuckers, the sick and hurt motherfuckers. So the point about the sex trafficking is because the cartels are being used by the government to do this. This is why the Republicans are pissed off with Trump, because of him building a wall is now cutting into their free movement across the border, where they can bring their drugs, they manufacture medical supplies, and the women for the sex trafficking. And it's being put on blast every day, but you don't hear world news, you don't hear the media talking about it, because these same motherfuckers that's running shit ain't motherfuckers on this media. So I ain't gonna be surprised if somebody come knocking on my door talking about I'm talking too much about shit. But I know what I know, because I'm a military man, and you know, I'm trying to stand up for the people, which people don't give a shit about no more, which is fine. But you know, I tell my people all the time, stop trying to find fault in people who want to point out the truth, because the point of them to point out the truth ain't to embarrass you or to make you angry. It's so that we can correct what's being fucked up. Shit don't never go right because people and their desires. Y'all want to do what the fuck y'all want to do at that time, and then you only want to do right when forced to do right. You know what I mean? But how about this? How about we choose to do right first, and then afterwards, after you done did all the rights you can do, then you go out and party and be neglectful, be an asshole, be a jerk off, whatever the fuck you want to be. You know what I'm saying? So the sex trafficking, for instance, I was down Fifth and Venango one day, and I was noticing while I'm out there bouncing at the club, and I'm wondering why these men with these guns and these vans keep bringing in new people, keep bringing these women in. They looking like they on security. They opening up the gate and they moving these people in. They talking in Spanish, and they, you know, really with the sense of urgency. And these girls look shook. They young, man, 13, 14, 15. You saying to yourself, what is these girls? Why are they in the company of these grown ass men with guns? But you know, nobody has no answer for that. So I'm letting y'all know that come the time when they decide to start airing us the fuck out, You're going to see a lot of Sinaloa cartel motherfuckers with them, with guns. You're going to see a whole lot of motherfuckers that's in these organizations. You're going to see Koreans. You're going to see Ukrainians. It's a lot of Russians, Koreans, and Ukrainians in our military, y'all. So for those who don't know, you better get hip. And the point is the stock market. Whenever they want to get rid of the stock on a nigga, they just sell it off to the nearest corporation that want to buy. And then they own us. That's what Wall Street is, y'all. Wall Street was where they bought the slaves and lined them up and sold them motherfuckers. For those who don't know, do your research. I ain't going to explain a whole lot of shit to you because we in a time where it's urgent. Everything need to be moving faster. If y'all ain't got figured this shit out yet, y'all still y'all losing. And y'all need to thank my man Rico here for taking the time out to broadcast this type of information, because this might be the last time you actually hear a motherfucker clearly telling you shit in detail that you need to know. Okay? So for all you motherfuckers who've been duped by the church and duped by whatever group, they ain't telling you what the mark of the beast and all of that shit mean. They telling you a whole bunch of bullshit. Know what I'm saying to you. Do your research. Title 42, Section 666. We all on the stock market. We all being used. Okay? That's why currency is what it is. We're paying taxes every time we spend that damn money. Because it's not worth a fucking thing. Fiat currency is not worth anything. You want to own anything and you want to be valuable, get some dinars or dirhams. You know what I'm saying? For all those motherfuckers who know about money, so-called know about money, do your research on dinars, dirhams, and reals, and you'll see that money is worth way more than a goddamn American dollar. Because they actually got gold and oil back in their shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why they got rid of Muammar Gaddafi, because he was in cahoots with Hugo Chavez, Mandela, what's my man name from Syria? Bashir al-Assad. This is why America going at these people. This is why motherfucking Mandela is dead. This is why President Hugo Chavez of Venezuela is dead. Okay, y'all? Ain't nothing to put ricin on a nigga hand, shake a motherfucking hand, 10 hours later that nigga die. And then the shit dissolve in the system. You don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? For those who don't know what ricin is, do your research. Okay? Because I ain't going to be sitting here explaining on every goddamn detail. Y'all got a brain. Do your research. Okay? Ricin. R-I-C-E-N. Okay? It's fucking poison. Shit'll fucking kill you. And it won't be, there'll be no detection of what happened, how it happened. Okay? You can shake a man's hand, put ricin on your hand, shake a man's hand. 15 hours later, the motherfucker die. You gone. As long as you got the deactivation antidote for the ricin, you won't get fucked up. But that motherfucker, if he don't got it, he's fucked up. And they putting it in the film, y'all. They put it in a movie called The Interview with James Franco and what's that white boy name? Funny motherfucker. Seth Rogen. And they show you in the movie, he's sitting there chilling with Kim Jong-il, asking him, why is all the food fake? And all this bullshit. And they go to shake the boy hand, you know what I mean, with the ricin. Actually, he never got a chance to get the ricin in because the security boy got it, chewed it, told the motherfucker it was gum. You know what I mean? 15 hours later, that motherfucker died. He vomiting, your body when you ingest it with poison. It flames up and does whatever it can to expel the poison. But at great detriment to the body. So you can fucking die from that shit. So they have these children out here now, y'all, that are in the sex ring that are being forced, to endure torture and all that shit. Sex, with these traffickers. And the government is allowing this shit. And they're using the Sinaloa cartel to make they drugs. Mexico is making meth. They can get dope. They got the cocaine. But, they also into the sex trafficking. The government is using this. They make any backdoor deals like this. These senators, all you motherfuckers, they're all guilty. Calling you all out. Ain't none of y'all different. It's real hypocritical for y'all motherfuckers in law enforcement and executive, judiciary, and legislative government to try to differentiate yourself from all those who corrupt. But at the same time, as a citizen, I can't do the same. You know, it's just like when a police officer come and say, you know, hey, I need you to come with me, please, because, you know, somebody committed a robbery or some shit. Alright. So, you know, but you demand that you look different upon all the other corrupt police officers, but you don't want to give the citizen the same benefit of doubt. So I look at all you officers, I don't give a fuck who you is, whether you're crooked or you're not. You still work for the same fucking devil. Alright? Because you working the 7 crowns and the 10 horns ain't got nothing to do to those who in the church or in religion who think that means that it's a monster coming out the sea and he got 7 crowns and 10 horns. You don't know what the fuck that passage really means. You really don't. Because the beast that rises from the sea is the government, okay? The beast is the system, the sea is the government, okay? And it says, and it shall rise, the beast shall rise from the sea, and it shall have 7 crowns and 10 horns. 7 crowns mean what? You in charge of something, you're a king. 10 horns mean what? Horns mean the what? Strike. When a bull, on the front of the Torah, they got bullhorn. Bullhorn, when a motherfucker go head up you with bullhorn, nigga, that's a rap. So the 7 crowns represent the 7 corporations that are running the planet right now. The UN, United Nations, the European Union in Brussels, Belgium, NATO in Berlin, the Federal Reserve Bank in Britain, International Monetary Fund in France, the Vatican, number 6, and the World Health Organization out of Israel. 7 crowns. 7 corporations run the world. The 10 horns, the 10 nations, have nuclear weapons. Okay, India, Pakistan, Iran, North Korea, China, Russia, Israel, France, Britain, America. Okay, so they need a world government, right? One world government. Said we shall have one by force of our choice. You can look at, you know, the fucking Warbird brothers back in the World War II era and know that shit. Another thing that is happening is that they have taken control of all of our stocks, our bonds, our corporations. All of the economics is now up for grabs with them. You know, that's what they're going to war about and fighting for. So for all of us civilians, for those who have assisted the government in criminalizing your own black people and putting them in prison and all that shit, you fall into the same category. As a military man and a former felon, I often get approached by police a lot of times, about a lot of things. For some reason, walking down the street, I look threatening because I got a beard. So I get stopped all the time and harassed all the time. And the police say the same thing. You know, I tell them, hey, this officer's different. Well, I'm different. No, you're not. All of y'all the same. Because you go for the same shit over and over again. You use the same dumbass excuses. And you never stop hiding behind the motherfucking shield. Y'all hide behind the shield. Calling you out, all of you police officers from every county in America. Till you represent the people fully and stop representing the Federal Reserve Bank, you are the enemy to the American people. Yes, you are. Okay? The fact of that being is because you allow a foreign corporation to come in and buy out all of the stock and the ownership of everything, and then you decide to follow them because that's where the money is. Alright, man. You take our tax dollars and say fuck us, put a middle finger to us because the Federal Reserve Bank has got more money and they can give y'all more. That's what y'all doing right now. I'm letting you know how it works. So when you motherfuckers want to argue with me about, no, that's not what's happening, motherfucker, do your goddamn research then. Find out who you working for. Okay? Because you ain't working for the American people no more. It's a wrap. I'm I'm gonna look you dead in your face. I don't give a fuck if you a sheriff, if you with the FBI, you the NSA. I don't give a fuck who you are. I look you dead in your face. I call you on your bullshit. That's why you're mad at Snowden, because he called you on your bullshit and he exposed you. Now you want to get revenge, because all you bitch ass cowards, y'all can't stand out and fight on your own. Y'all gotta hire other motherfuckers. That's the nature of y'all little bitch motherfuckers. Y'all hide behind a goddamn shield all the goddamn time instead of being a real man, stepping out in the world and stating your biz. You know what I'm saying? Individually. You need to get a whole group of motherfuckers to back you up so you can have something to hide behind in case the shit goes south. You know, well, the American people ain't got that. I'm calling all you motherfuckers and letting you know y'all full of shit. Every last one of you. Okay? From the president down to the Surgeon General. Y'all in it together. It's all a game with y'all till we decide to tear y'all ass out the frame. And then it's a new game. So, the sex trafficking, they getting the women from the nation that have the biggest abuse rate of women. Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Ukraine, Poland, some Central American countries, Central Asian countries, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. And they get these women and they bring them all in on the international market and sell them, you know. And these fathers who lose their daughters, they never get an idea to know who the hell took my daughter and what she being used for. Some get killed, some overdose and get discarded. They probably grind them up and put them in the meat for all we know. So, for those who don't know, I know what I know. You know, you don't have to like what I'm saying. Just do your research, because I've done mine, and I've been spending 20 years of my life trying to teach. You know, after learning from some of my, the best teachers, now I'm trying to teach the youth, but they don't fall into the same situation because I was misled as a child. I was taught that I should sell drugs in order to get this money and You know, now I'm telling the youth, no, fuck selling drugs. Go to school, get an education, and create a job. You ain't got to go look for a job. Create a job. That's where it's at. So, for all of those who've lost their children in this fight, whether they got killed, they got kidnapped. Understand what your government is doing, and remember the milk box program. Do your research on that, because that's where that's where you're going to find understanding. That's where you're going to find the pattern. What's the point, of all this? Okay, you ask. The point is so that you know that the government is using us as the subjects. It's an experimentation. The United States is being used as an experimentation. Economics, prison, violence. They influence violence. They want violence for you to be the chaotic one, so that they can come in and create the solution later and tell you, hey, this is how we're gonna protect y'all. So they allow us niggas to run wild on these white folks, only so they can tell them, hey, we're gonna make these laws and do this, that, and this so that y'all can be safe. Because the police is not here to protect people, they're here to protect the fucking financial institutions, the buildings that these motherfuckers own. You know what I'm saying? They don't really care nothing about the human being. So with that being said, y'all, sex trafficking is real. The cartels in America are real. The depopulation is real. And this new world order, new world government that they create is real. And we better get real. We better start figuring it out. We better get mad real quick, y'all. In droves. I'm talking about in the hundreds of thousands and the millions. Start getting mad. Because if you motherfuckers ain't mad, then you ain't doing nothing. So, I'm gonna cut this lecture short today, y'all, because, I'm a little tired. I've been running all around all day. But, this information, y'all can look up on a YouTube, look up, missing kids, the milk box program. Look up MK Ultra. These are the programs where they kidnap kids and youth, and they were using them for these different, aspects. Also military. Let's not forget. The Central Intelligence Agency wrote a blueprint for what you call a Manchurian candidate. Yeah, they create those every time. The guy dressed up as Batman in the fucking movie theater. For all we know, he could be one of them motherfuckers. You send a motherfucker out to kill 50, 60, 70 people. What sparks this? This man ain't never been violent before. What the fuck happened to him? He must have had a chip in his head, So, for those who don't know, you just been blessed by the best. I'm calling out all pastors, imams, whatever you proclaim you are. If you're not telling the people this truth, then you're not telling them. Because we ain't got time to be bullshit. It's getting real out here. And people need to live. And we have the right to live. And ain't nobody, no creator gave no cracker man, no military man, no government man, the right to change me. Okay? I don't give a fuck if you don't like what I'm saying. You don't have the right to take my life, my kid's life, because you just want to make the earth for you. The earth is not just for you. It's for who God put the fuck here. If he put ants here, that's who it's for. If he put roaches here, that's who it's for. You have not the right to decide that you want to get rid of 95% of the motherfucking people and then say to us, oh, we just got to deal with it. No, it's not happening like that. And then people won't fucking rebel against you. And y'all gonna hurt. Y'all gonna hurt big time. Because it's a greater enemy for y'all motherfuckers than black people, Latino people, people of color. It's these foreign beings. Some of them got it in for y'all too. So while you trying to exterminate us, they waiting for the right time to come kick y'all ass. And with that being said, y'all, I'm gonna end this lecture. I hope y'all got some insight. Look up the Georgia Guidestones, look up Social Security, see what I'm saying. You'll see the truth. And keep learning, man. Don't stop. Please, to all my people around the world, whether you're black, Latino, or any national, please get mad. Please get mad at what you hear. Do your research. Find out what's going on. Because the only way you're going to change this shit is if you get mad. And anybody ain't getting mad, you ain't doing shit. And anybody still resorting to, killing your own and hurting your own, you ain't doing shit. You a peon, you a coward, and you ain't got enough heart to stand around the real men on the planet Earth. Because the real men is trying to save their motherfucking folks, trying to save the planet, trying to save, the life that's on this planet. We ain't trying to exterminate life. The useless motherfuckers on the planet, if y'all was to exterminate them, maybe we could say, oh, well, you're doing a good job. But when you only looking at it as a color thing, a color scheme, so for the world, I say, thank you very much for hearing me, but you're not doing enough until you get pissed off enough to go to your senator and tell them, look, I'm not tolerating this shit. And if you tolerate this shit, your ass is out. You know what I mean? Community to community, sector to sector, county to county, wherever we got it, however we do it, y'all. Let's just make sure that we save our generation and we save our fucking planet from these evil motherfucking devils. And they got some black devils too, y'all. But we know what we talking about. We talking about these military motherfuckers, these government people who plotting on our downfall. NSA, CIA, and motherfucker got a 3-letter, he's in the fucking way. You know what I'm saying? So, thanks, Rico. Appreciate you much for letting me lecture. And I hope the people that y'all take the information I got and go research it, because it's true. And I ain't sitting here standing doing this shit for nothing. Because I got kids and I got nieces and nephews and I want them to survive. And if you motherfuckers ain't gonna be part of the solution, be part of the problem. So peace, Islam, Shalom Aleichem, Assalamu Alaikum, Hotep. I'll be back to broadcast soon. ASAP Rocky, y'all. Time bomb out of the psych ward, and I'm out.